Good morning. From 16 miles north of Callander, or roughly thereabouts. I've just parked the car back there, and I can see it behind the bushes. For today, where is it? Down there. As today, I'm going to climb 2 Munros. The first one, Ben Vorlich, I want to say, and the second one, Stuc, Chròin, I believe it's pronounced, but there's a chance both of them are very wrong. So this will be my 10th and 11th Munros. Last weekend I done Ben Lomond, the weekend before that Ben Chonsey, so they were both singles. Double today. I left Edinburgh at about 7 a.m, parked the car. It's now roughly 8:45 and it's actually about 12 degrees, which is nice, so I don't think it's going to be a cold one today. Might get a little bit colder up the hills, but yeah, very mild this time of year. We're now the 1st of December, so can't complain. Hopefully it's a good day. Hopefully get some nice views on this walk. I couldn't film Ben Lomond because my phone had no space, so I've sorted that now though, so I'll be able to film today's antics. Already starting to get a bit sweaty. Might have to de-layer imminently. I was going to come and do this yesterday, that was the plan, but I went out with my work colleagues on Friday night, got a little bit drunk, so yesterday was a write-off. I was in my bed all day and I certainly wouldn't have been able to muster the strength to bag 2 Munros, so I thought I'll just come today instead. But it doesn't really matter. As long as I get them done, it's not too important what day it was. It is looking a bit ominous up there through the trees, which I presume is where we're going. I can see a tiny touch of ice, I think, and I've left my crampons in the car, maybe stupidly, so I presumed with it being 11 degrees, 12 degrees that all the ice would be melted. I can't imagine there's a lot of ice up there, but I guess we'll soon find out. There's Loch Earn down there, sort of left. The path is starting to get a bit steeper up here. That's where I'm going, I presume. Right into that thick mist up there. On a warmer day on your way back down, you could stop in there for a swim. I'll not be doing that today though, absolutely not. Approaching kilometre 4, bit of boulder dashing ahead of me now. But I think the summit is only at 4.5 or 5 kilometres. The first summit anyway, so nearly there. So that's obviously the final ascent onto Ben Vorlich. The wind is howling. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to power up there and see what it's like at the top, but I'm not optimistic I'm going to get any views. Just at the summit now, Ben Vorlich. Don't think I'll bother hanging around. Nothing to see, unfortunately. And that climb up here was steep. I've done Scaffold Pike, Snowdon, Ben Nevis, and that climb to the summit pushes them, gives them a run for their money. That was steep and it was very, very windy, which makes it more difficult, but yeah, I'm going to continue on now because not much to see up here, annoyingly. The key to hiking in the winter, bringing a flask of coffee. Does look like it's going to maybe clear up a little bit, but I didn't stay on the summit for too long. Just wanted to get off, it was too windy at least here. It's a bit sheltered. Have a quick break, have some food and then continue on in that direction. That boulder field. We don't want to be standing down there if they all started to collapse. There's a big rock slide. Less than a kilometre to go to the second summit, which is quite good news really, because you can see it's not the most scenic day. So I'm just going to get to the top and then make my way back to the car. Yeah, disappointing, but oh well. So I didn't realise that the ascent involves scrambling up there. Obviously I'm a little bit apprehensive about that, but I'll give it a go. If at any point I think no, I'll just turn back, because it doesn't help that I can't see anything and it's going to be very slippy, so I need to be very careful going up there. It looked a lot worse than it was actually. This is short bit of scrambling, then there's a path again, so I'm out of breath, but yeah, not too bad. Very exposed on this ascent. Also steep, very steep. I wouldn't like to do it in the wind, but it's okay at the moment. Just on the final climb, but yeah, it's quite tricky. You need to have your eyes on the ball because it's slippy, steep, it's climbing, but it's got to keep calm. Nearly there. So that's me at the summit now. There's the cairn. It's very, very windy again up here, very exposed, so I'm not going to hang around long. No views, just wind and mist. I'm going to get a bit lower and hopefully find a nice sheltered spot to stop, have my peace, drink a coffee, and then continue on the 5 or 6 kilometres back to the car. Oh, yeah, it's not been the best of days, admittedly. Just in the descent, it was quite steep coming down there. I mean, look how eerie that looks. Mist everywhere, low hanging. It's a bit annoying because I think this would be a really scenic route actually, in good conditions, but yeah, anyway. I'm glad to be out of that wind. Always amazes me how windy it is, and then you descend a little bit and it's still, like there's not a lick of wind here now, whereas up there, it's blowing a gale, blowing a hoolie as they say. Paths descended into Bogville. Unfortunately, I hate Bogville, but the only way is through. Look at that, just slipped in a big Bogville filled hole. Oh, annoying. So there's Loch Earn in the distance. The path sweeps round and joins the initial path, the track that you start on. And let me tell you, I cannot wait to get back on that path. I mean, look at this. Forget Bogville, it's just been like a swamp. This whole section has just been terrible. I've not enjoyed a second of it. I'm soaked. My feet are soaked, my legs are soaked, my hat's soaking, my gloves are wet, my backpack's soaked. Don't have any waterproofs. That whole section was exposed, so the wind and rain is lashing into you. There's no waterproofs, obviously my fault, but yeah, this has not been an enjoyable section. I can't wait to be done with it. Oh, we made it, guys. Back on terra firma. Back on the path. Thank God. Didn't know how much more I could take on that swamp bog back there. It was terrible. Awful. I reckon if I knew that section was like that, when I got to the second summit, I would have just turned round and went back the way I came and went back over Ben Vorlich and come back down there. It would have been probably just as much effort, but it would have been much more pleasant because my feet would not be slipping about in that mud and getting soaked. But it's done now. I've got dry clothes waiting for me at the car, so I'll get in, change my socks and my trousers, put on my dry shoes and head back home. Another 2 in the bag. Although I must admit, I've not really enjoyed today that much. I just think when the weather's rubbish, I mean, you can't see anything. The main reason you come out is to get the views and to, you know, really see Scotland in its true form. And then when you come out and you're just greeted by mist, and as well when it's windy and rainy, it does get a bit miserable. You're just plodding on. So I think going forward I'll need to take the forecast into account much more and not to be obsessed with getting my numbers up, because there's no point if you're in doing these things if you're not enjoying it. And you know, I'll need to upgrade my kit, get some gaiters and proper walking trousers and walking boots, because I've been slipping all over the place back there. Because these trail shoes are not great for the Munros, admittedly. I thought they were, but today's been a bit of an eye-opener that they're not that suitable. That's a nice house. Wow. Obviously get a lot of people walking up there, just had to put a sign saying hill walkers to avoid people walking on their drive. So I'm just back in my car, emptying my bag, everything's absolutely soaking, my battery pack, all that stuff. So you look in the bag at the bottom of that, drenched. It's not suitable really for going out to do Munros, especially without a cover, so all my stuff soaking. My dry clothes on, which is nice. Having a coffee and my sandwich. Look at the state of my sandwich. That's soaking wet, didn't even get time to eat it. Just gonna have that and head back down the road. Yeah, I've not really enjoyed today. I guess there will be days like that on the hills, but it's probably partly due to me being a bit underprepared as well. But it's just rubbish when you can't see anything. And the difficulty is you can look at the forecast, you know, and think it's going to be okay, and then you come up and it's a 2-hour drive more or less to get here for me. So you leave it, you know, early in the morning, you arrive, and if you come the distance and you travel up and the mist is on the hills, what are you going to do? You're going to go home, or are you just going to get them done? Well, for me it's getting them done, so I just go on and do them anyway. But yeah, it is a bit annoying. At least the sandwich is tasty. I've drank my coffee, eaten my sandwich. I've been sat here so long, the car's starting to steam up, so it's about to head home. As usual, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back again shortly on more escapades on the hills.